And
proudly sponsored by TUSC, the only cryptocurrency designed with the firearms market in mind, with 3-second processing times. It's the fastest cryptocurrency on the planet. With lower transaction fees than traditional credit cards. It's perfect for your e-commerce needs. For gun guys, by gun guys. Visit TUSC.network for more information and join the digital revolution. Black Swan Tactical, your #1 source for 2A streetwear. With shirts, mugs, hats, patches, flags, and more. There's always something to help you rep the 2A community. All proceeds go back into our projects. Viewers and listeners can take an additional 10% off with code CRUMPY. Unapologetically pro-gun, pro-liberty, and pro-freedom gear for the front lines of the culture war.
And we are live, Wolverines, coming to you from the Eastern Complex, from the Watchtower, as Jimi Hendrix would like to say. I am joined by my co-host, Flying Rich. And Flying Rich, you know who we are brought to you by today?
Is it a 3-letter company?
It is JSD Supply, where you can get all your gun building needs, from slides, the barrels, the P80 kits, to a MUP 1, which is based on the SIG P320. They have a SIG P365 kit as well, which is awesome. Check them out at JSD Supply. Just Google them and they will come up. You can use code CRUMP for free shipping and $10 off as well. I also have an affiliate link, but I'm not throwing my affiliate link out there because I don't like to double dip. And with that, I have no idea where Jordan is. St. Vinroe is missing.
Jordan said he's going to be coming in hot.
He's going to be coming in hot. That is great. I also have a Patreon. You can go to my Patreon to help support the channel. Patreon.com/John Crump. We're going to be having our monthly hangout fairly soon here. Probably next week sometime, and that's a lot of fun. That's on Discord, where we do have a Discord that you can join. That's in the description. So that's where we do our Patreon hangouts. It's a lot of fun, and we end up staying up really late usually, and I'm usually really tired the next day because of it. But it's I
thought you never slept, John.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, no, I don't usually. But
so I got a question about the green screen.
Okay.
Are you in the basement of the house or the Crumpy sub and don't want us to know?
I'm not in the basement. I'm
that
in
might
the
mean Crumpy sub.
I'm in a loft. Yes. But yeah, I like it. It I can hide a little bit out, and it looks pretty cool.
I'm jealous.
Go in here. I have the new.
We got Invader
Samsung.
Zip.
Oh, okay.
Invader Zip said he would come on, but he works till 8 o'clock weekdays, I think.
Gotcha. I have one of the new Samsung mic that they have, the Q9U, which is really cool because it's a it's the USB mic, but it can also be used as an XLR mic.
Oh yeah, I've got the Q2U, I think it is. Yeah, but for some reason I upgraded my Mac OS and it just didn't work right after that.
Yeah, the Q9U is their new one.
Oh, it's Aegis Gun Care. Hey, Aegis.
That's the upgrade of the Q2U. A little bit more expensive, but
yeah, I guess I would have to go XLR with it and need a preamp because I couldn't get that to run right. I used to use it for audio podcasts.
The Q9U is working great with my Mac here, and I have the latest version. I updated my Mac Apparently that's what will happen. My Mac
and I was printing something for Night Strike that was going to take 6 or 7 days to print, but unfortunately that crashed also. Sorry, dude. Actually, it's going along quite well.
Oh, I showed you. Okay, that's good because that's like a 6-day print.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hack your device and turn it off.
Good luck.
Is that a challenge?
If anybody could do it, I'm sure you would be potentially the one.
All right, then I won't do it. Just
but if you give me the IP address of the device, that would be good enough. We got Shooting Gallery New England and Bacon in the chat.
What is up, Shooting Gallery New England and Bacon? Both channel members.
So, yeah. Oh, and somebody asked for an update on Dark. I haven't talked to Dark or heard from him today. Anybody?
I talked to him. Talked to him yesterday. He seems to be on the mend. He's getting better, but I haven't talked to him today. I was gonna give him a call tonight.
Yeah. I just usually I call him whenever because I know he's almost always up. But since he's had the vid, I didn't want to bother him in case he's napping or something.
Yeah. Last time I heard, he was doing a lot better.
Good. So I am crazy excited. Oh, and right when I said crazy excited, Jordan shows up.
I'm here.
Jordan, the Saint Vinroe. How are you doing?
Great. How are you guys? Sorry, I'm a little bit late.
Oh, Chris Bullis' wife is sick. Oh, I think everyone's gonna get.
My wife is sick too.
The new variant.
Yeah, my wife. We had COVID a year ago, almost to the day, and earlier in December, I should say, last year. And my wife's not sure, but she's taking all precautions and got to get tested and all that bit.
Yeah. Okay, Jordan, how are you doing, my friend?
Good. We had a bunch of people over for Christmas Eve, and my typical setup had to be ransacked for chairs and such, and I had to run through the house try to get my chair. So
is that where you have the cool background? I'm like, is he at the office? Is that home?
This is at my house. Yeah. So my wife decided to paint kind of our downstairs room this brown color, so I like it. It's kind of.
It looks really good.
It's a little different.
It looks,
you have like a halo effect.
Yeah, you got a key light back there.
Yeah, I got a little ring light thing. Stole that from my kids, so I don't know what it is, but it works.
Yeah, but it gives a halo, which is really fitting since you are Saint Vinroe of the 80s.
Yeah.
Patron saint of the 80s.
Thanks.
So if our people don't know what happened 2 weeks ago, somebody out there might not know, but
biggest Chad move ever.
Yeah.
Biggest Chad move ever.
Yeah, so 2 weeks ago was our grand opening for our gun show promotion. That's why I'm wearing this. Welcome to the gun show. Eagle Shows. So it's a show we've been going to for quite a while, and they're the biggest promoter in Pennsylvania, and the Oaks Gun Show where we were all at. Team Uncool was there. Yep, there you go. And so that's kind of the premier gun show, and it's quite honestly, it's the best show that we do in the country. We go all over, and that's the best show we do as a vendor is JSD Supply.
Well, it is the third largest in the country.
Yeah.
Oh, it is? Yeah. Wow.
So we had record-breaking attendance, so it was a nice entry into my new venture, I guess.
Yeah, somebody told me it was near 10,000 or over 10,000.
Yeah, it was over. Yep.
Over 10,000, which is insane. It was a fun time, and that was the biggest Chad mode. So JSD gets the old owners got pressured by Josh Shapiro, Eamon Brown, who is pro gun.
B plus, right?
Yeah, B plus, yeah, B plus. Eamon Brown and Kim Stouffer into banning the sale of 80%. So what?
Their shows, right?
What does Saint Vinroe do? What would Saint Vinroe do? He would buy the damn gun show. Not only that one gun show, the whole entire promotion. Right. And not only that, like every 2 feet, there was someone selling 80s there. And not only that, but there was classes on how to finish it with tools, so you could finish it right there.
Yeah, that's kind of an impromptu thing with Rob Pincus and Matt from 2A 3D Prints. So that was fun getting to see those guys too.
And you got to learn about 3D printing guns. So it's just like it's like I know you don't like to swear, and I don't either. So I would say it was a big FU to Josh Shapiro and his cronies, which I thought was
one could say that
awesome. I mean, that was like if the article wrote, if you go through the comments on AmmoLand, people are like, that's a boss move, or that's a Chad move, or God bless you, Mr. Vinroe.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Yeah. It's something we've been wanting to do for a long time. I tried to start a gun show several years ago now, probably maybe 5 years ago in Erie, Pennsylvania, which is a super tough market, I came to find out. So it never really materialized, but so I've always kind of wanted to do this. So just kind of, right place, right time. I don't spend my money on hardly anything, so I don't really have any cool toys or anything like that. I just save for different opportunities and, like this. So
no, you don't buy any cool toys. You just buy freaking businesses.
Yeah, those are my toys, I guess. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, that is awesome.
So you got another show coming up in a week or two?
Yeah, next week is Morgantown, PA. So that's another one of our bigger shows. It actually came about recently here when COVID shut everything down. The previous owner, he's a scrapper too, man. He went and, found different venues that would let us have a show. And, he really, fought to get shows going again. And Morgantown was one of those. It kind of replaced the Oak show that we, were all at a couple weeks ago. So that's been a strong show too. So it's, it's a nice little show. And we have shows almost every week, throughout the rest of the year. I think we have 40 scheduled right now.
Now, is that just Pennsylvania or where else?
Yeah, it's just Pennsylvania for right now. I like to be aggressive in whatever we do once I figure out kind of the formula. I'd like to expand into Ohio possibly. So either through acquiring another gun show promotion. I know there's a few over there that, could potentially want to sell. So I don't know, maybe into Maryland or something there. There's another promotion that kind of runs that scene. So, we're always looking now that I got a taste of it. We need to keep it moving.
Now that just
professional wrestling back in the 70s used to be very there used to be circuits. There used to be areas like the Memphis area, whatever area. And then Vince McMahon came along and bought them all up. Are you the Vince McMahon of gun shows?
That's funny you say that. We were talking about that maybe last week at the office. The similarities, I guess, as at this point. So I'd like to. Yeah, I'd like to.
Are you going to get a black jet?
A black jet?
I'll
probably. No, I probably won't do that.
Didn't they have an issue where because it was black when they told them not to paint it black, they painted it black anyway, so they couldn't get the door open or something like that?
That's correct. Wow, you for not an aviation guy, I'm impressed.
Was it?
Yes, exactly.
Was it too hot from the sun or what?
Yeah, the aluminum expands when it's on the runway, and it was the door jammed. That'll happen after it sits. You can get out of the plane, but you go to get in, and
she's locked up.
And fun fact: multi-engine planes don't have keys.
Oh, so you just open them up?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's other ways of disabling things, but
yeah.
And they told him not to paint it black because of that reason, but he decided he was going to do it anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds.
And they couldn't get on the plane.
Yeah, that's why you don't see black airplanes.
Yeah, interesting. Never thought of that.
There you go. John is like Rain Man with information. If you heard it once, you recall it.
So,
Alan, you're funny, man.
I thought the gun show here in West Palm Beach was pretty big. I was shocked at how big the Expo Center was in Oaks, because it's like it just kept going and going and going. I was like, but you did have like, I don't know, 10 feet between the tables. In West Palm Beach, like if there's a guy facing this table, a guy facing that table, you got to go sideways between them.
Right.
Because the tables are so, and it might be just a much smaller venue also. I don't know table count or anything, but almost once a month there's at West Palm Beach a gun show. It's typically like a black rifle show. But so watching you there, I guess a couple of questions. When before you owned the show, did you have just like one booth, or you had more than one booth?
So historically, we've only had one, but then at the Oak Show, maybe 2 years ago or so, we were getting super busy, and I thought, you know what, let's get two tables, two different spots, because normally it's in two halls. We were at three this last time, so in the 2 hall shows, I thought let's put a second booth in and see what happens. And there was more competition too for selling the similar product that we sell. So I didn't want somebody to go through Hall B and not necessarily go through Hall C where we're typically at. So so we've been setting up two spots at that show for a little while now. This is the first time we did 3. So we had one in each hall, A, B, and C. So I just wanted to make sure that our presence was known in the show, and we had the manpower, and I just wanted, it's kind of like our grand opening for Eagle shows for our ownership there. So I wanted to, represent JSD well there too.
Oh, by the way, Vanessa Kitty brings up the SR-71 and how it had to be repainted often. Also, if you don't know something about the SR-71, the SR-71 leaked heavily when it was on the runway.
So popular belief is it leaked heavily. I talked to the last squadron leader of the SR-71s. He said you couldn't fill a shot glass with what leaked out of it.
Oh, really?
That was, he said Discovery Channel they made it like fuel was pouring out, because the skin is cooled with the fuel.
Yeah.
And I forget, the plane expands and lengthens like 10 or 12. It's something, really that they had to take into consideration. But with the heat going at the high Mach numbers, it would actually expand. And fact check me, don't count what I'm saying is true, but I think it was like 8 or 12 inches.
Hey, one of the mods banned the Russian person. Just because I don't like Russians.
Oh. But how do I do that? Put user in timeout. I can put him in timeout.
Oh, timeout. That works. Yeah.
So, all right. Let's get the rumors on the SR-71 out. The other rumor was that it burned so much fuel they had to refuel before getting to cruising altitude. That was not true. It just had very poor single engine performance, so they wouldn't take off with a full load of fuel, because if you lost one engine, if you had, I don't know what the load of fuel was they took off with, but you had better performance if you had a lighter load. So then they got to altitude, refueled, and then they could go on when they were able, like if they lost an engine, make a safe landing. So
who insisted they changed the design of the SR-71 when it moved from the ox cart to SR-71, because he didn't like the CRA.
Idea, because the A-12 and the SR-71 were 2 different planes.
Yeah, it was Curtis LeMay, General Curtis LeMay of the Air Force.
He's also the guy that asked a question that he already knows the answer to.
He also screwed up the Bay of Pigs invasion, and possibly on purpose, because he didn't like the CIA.
Oh. Wow. There's a whole rabbit hole we can go. So, Jordan, I got, and please don't take this the wrong way. I hope you know I have mad respect for you. Running a gun show, that's got to be like herding cats. I mean, that's a crazy. I'm watching, all right, calling a tow truck company, and you're
yeah, it's wild. So I obviously know what the retail side of it looks like and how to sell stuff and deal with regular customers, but now I got to play both sides of that. My customers now are the vendors, and getting people through the door. So you have to do both well. And I think my one guy, Aaron, had a smartwatch on recording his steps, and we did between 8 and 10 miles a day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So every time I go into Hall A to do something, something needed done in Hall C, and little things here and there. It wasn't too bad, but it was a lot of walking, a lot of moving. So,
any interesting things happen at the gun show that you had to deal with as being the promoter?
Yeah, there's always something. Couple vendors were at odds, I will say politely, over a customer purchase. Everything ended up being fine, but it's the first time I've seen an exchange get heated in the 8 or so years, almost 9 years I've been at a gun show. So that was interesting to be in the middle of that, and everybody made up at the end, or at least with me. They made up with me. I doubt they're going to make up with each other, but they are all right at the end. So then another thing that happened, and you can't tell me that this isn't part of the gun control agenda, is the Pennsylvania instant criminal check system, whatever, went down, or didn't go down, but it was on a backlog for 3 or 4 hours in some cases. So we had to stay super late into the evening to escort the customers out as they were finishing up their background checks. But we had a few customers that waited around for about an hour and a half, and came back to the dealer and said, "Hey, I'm not waiting anymore." And so there's some issue there depending on which dealers you're working with, but that's a huge part of the agenda for gun control. If you can't get approved, run this background check. Well, we didn't deny you; it's just delayed because it's 3-4 hours, and you're not going to want to do that.
Is there any reporting requirement? It's like, oops, I kicked the Ethernet cable out. Nobody. It's like
not that I'm aware of. I don't know. They probably put out reports that you could probably go and look at and see what average times are. But you got to figure.
It'd be interesting if somebody would FOIA that.
Yeah,
It's not. It wouldn't be a FOIA. It would be an open records request in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and I think that it's gonna be skewed because you figure a Tuesday afternoon statewide, how many guns are being bought Tuesday afternoon, whereas at a huge gun show like we had, plus there were others throughout the state that day as well. So like we have one dealer that I think he told me he sold 150 guns, so that's 150 background checks, and so that's just one dealer, and there's multiple dealers that are selling 50 to 100. Over the weekend. So you got thousands of guns being sold, and it just overloads the system. And there's a gigantic backlog. There's nothing you can do about it, really.
I do want to do a shout out to Walter from Safety Harbor Firearms. I hope you are feeling better, my friend. We also had a question that I saw, but I kind of who asked? I think Aegis asked us. Aegis Gun Care asked, how many tables were there at Oaks?
I think there were 1,600 full rented tables. So
that's insane.
Yeah,
that's insane. All right, now are you guys going to unveil anything at SHOT?
I don't think so. We don't have anything ready.
Wolverines Shooting Gallery New England is out there. It's Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, I missed the beginning also.
Yeah, he missed the beginning too.
Yeah. So is the P365 out?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. Maybe we'll take that. I guess we could have that ready. I announced it at the last SHOT show that we were at, which whatever that was it 2020? I guess it was. I had 3D samples of it, but we should. I guess I could bring that if that's finished up.
Yeah. You have anything else in the works that you can discuss?
Yeah, we got.
I know you always have irons in the fire, but
yeah. So recently, I'm kind of 50-50, maybe 70-30 on it right now. Making full guns with the intent of making 80% versions as well. So not sure where we'll start yet on what gun we're going to make, but I sent some information to a molding, plastic injection molding company that I know.
So we're going to start those guys.
Yeah, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, thanks. We actually talked. We were at JSD dinner, like a Christmas party or whatever, and so I called your guy there on the way home, my wife slept anyway because it was a little bit late. So I'm like, I might as well do some business while I'm driving at 9:00 at night. So, but yeah, so we started down that path actually Monday. So we're getting some very broad details ironed out.
That's funny. I hooked them. They were both on the way to Christmas parties, or he was on his way to a Christmas party, or on your way home from a Christmas party, and yet these two guys, it's like the guy's like the West Coast version of Jordan here. So they're both really great guys. So I hooked them up, and like one's on the way to Christmas party, one's on the way home from Christmas party, and yet it's not like, hey, let's do some business next week. It's like, let's get on the phone and work this out now.
Yep, it's awesome, and we found out we know a lot of the same people too. So it's interesting. It's any industry is kind of the same way. It's a small, small circle of people kind of at times.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Jordan, the MUP 1.
Yeah.
So the fire control unit, how do you come up with the idea for that? You did the design on that?
Yeah. So Bob kind of went over it the other night. But we didn't have any money, and I do everything in cash. So it's not like I can just go get I could go get a credit line or whatever, but I had to start with something that wasn't going to be terribly expensive. An injection mold, the mold itself for a good solid mold's anywhere from $60,000 to $100,000+. So I don't have that kind of money.
Yeah, they have to make the molds and everything else before they start producing them, and that's where it can get really expensive at.
Yeah. So, if I spend any money, I have to get a return on it right away, at least at that stage in my life when we developed that. So, P80, Polymer 80 had just come out with a Glock. I think the year before, I thought, what, these guys are awesome. They can do this. There's got to be something I can do. I love this industry as much as they do. But that's cool. Safety Harbor. And so we started looking at the P320. It was starting to gain some popularity. And my vision for it, although it's been slow, is that's going to be the next kind of AR-15, at least of the pistol world, where an AR you can build virtually anything you want, unlimited possibilities there, calibers and configurations. So with the P320, there's designs out there that are quietly being made that you can use it in a bolt action rifle, where you take that fire control unit, slip it into a chassis. Yep. A pump action shotgun is quietly in development. An AR-15, firecontrolunit.com has developed an AR-15 that takes that P320 fire control unit and drops into, what appears to be an AR-15 lower receiver. From the outside, it looks basically like an AR-15. So there's endless possibilities with a firearm system like a P320 or any kind of chassis drop-in system like that. So the issue then becomes, what's the firearm? The bolt action rifle, it's the receiver that the barrel mounts into and the bolt slides through. Well, with a P320, it's the part you held in your hand. So do you have two firearms then that go together? So that's kind of like the tricky or potentially tricky part, there.
Walter Keller, I don't know if you know Walter's story, Safety Harbor Firearms. He does a bolt action upper 50 cal for an AR platform. And you got to change out, I think it's the hammer and the spring or the only things on the lower you need to change out. And it doesn't use the buffer tube, so that. But the ATF sent him a letter saying, hey, you're selling a firearm. Because it used to be you call Walter up, say, hey, here's my credit card number, send one to my front door. And, you'd get basically the parts to drop a 50 cal upper onto your AR lower. And the ATF said, hey, by the way, that's a firearm also.
Yeah, so that gets tricky. So I wonder, he's saying, that'd be two firearms. So I guess that answers my question. So you have two firearms with his 50 cal and an AR lower, and would be, my assumption would be the same for that P320 setup. So.
I'm sure you can give Walter a call and talk to him about what he went through, because that might be helpful to you.
Yeah, for sure.
I can hook you up with that number, or Rich can.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Walter, the guy that came on here the other day with the Brownells onesie on.
I didn't see it. I'll have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, I just showed up.
Well, Walter's not only a nice guy, but a super smart guy. He's got a machine shop over by Tampa in Safety Harbor, actually. And he manufactures a whole bunch of things. One of them happens to be a 50 cal bolt action upper.
Yeah.
But he CNCs a whole bunch of ports.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I've definitely seen them. Yep.
Yeah, they're really cool. I would like to get a 50 cal, but I just don't see where I would use that really.
I just like the FU aspect of a 50 cal.
Right. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I want what the government wants me least to have, and they seem to have a hard-on for 50, so I think I want one.
Yeah, you deserve one. My wife got me a Christmas present. She ended up getting me a lever action 4570, which is awesome. But I thought maybe she spent the money on a 50 because I've been talking about that recently too, and not like actually going to go out and buy one. But she does some crazy stuff sometimes, so so I wasn't sure what was going to happen.
What type of lever action?
Marlin.
Yes.
Yeah, stainless with like the kind of the green wood stock. I don't know
I'm
what
a
it's called.
Huge lever action fan.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge. I love lever actions.
Yeah, this is my first one. So
my favorite gun is I have a brass receiver side loading Henry 410 shotgun.
Yeah, that's
nice.
Sweet. Do you ever shoot it, or is it just a wall hanger?
Oh no, I shoot it all the time.
Yeah, nice.
I love that gun.
Yeah.
I mean, then I got some 30-30s and stuff like that, but my Henry brass receiver is my baby.
Yeah. They used to make those in Pennsylvania. The brass receivers, I think they made them in Pittsburgh for a while. I don't think they do anymore, but
I don't know where they make them at now. But yeah, that I love revolvers and lever actions.
Yeah, I don't have any revolvers or lever actions. The lever action is attractive to me. I'm not a big fan of the revolver, although Cody Slocum has a very cool revolver that was developed. I forget how many generations back, but it's the Slocum revolver, and it was to avoid a patent. And so each in the cylinder that rotates, there's a slide where you put the cartridge in. And that avoided, whatever patent was on the, flip out cylinder.
Nice.
Yeah, cool. I mean, I've been reading a lot about John Browning lately, and all his patents and stuff like that, and how companies like when he was dealing with Colt and Smith and Wesson and stuff like that, whoever the first guy he went to, they bought the patent because they bought the gun to be the patent because they knew the other guy was going to buy it if they didn't. So even if they really didn't want to produce it, they would buy it anyway.
Nice. Mm-hmm. That's the move if you got the money.
So speaking of patents, it says patent pending on the MUP1 here.
Yeah.
So you've
patented
applied
now. Yeah, no, we're granted. Okay. Yeah. And so the stamping we use for that was created, before we were actually issued the patent. So I guess we should probably change it. But so we have a patent on that, and also the jig, the finishing jig too. So design patent on that, and then a utility patent on the jig. So we're pretty excited about that. That's my first unique product, I guess you could say, that we've been able to bring to the market, and my first patents on both of those. So
how long did it take to get the patents through?
I think on the design patent, it was less than a year, maybe 10 months or thereabouts, right around a year. And the jig, we just got the jig this year. So that's probably been two or 3 years on the jig. We weren't sure we were going to get it. Lawyer actually told me I should probably hang it up, quit spending money on it. But we ended up getting it. So
yeah, patents are ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, and some of the claims that they made back to us, I don't know all the terminology, but some of the the patent office said that we kind of were very similar to another jig, and it's like it's not even close to what to what they were referencing.
But they have no idea.
No, they have no idea, which is understandable, I guess. But so we ended up getting a patent on both of those. That's pretty exciting.
Ooh, we got a question. Apparently your site isn't stocked up. When are you going to be stocked up?
We're working on it. Everything's slow to come back, I think. So,
is there? I know I asked Bob this. Is there an ETA for the Up One uppers, the slides, and is that like?
Yeah, we have. We have 700 of them running right now. They're almost finished. So.
Oh, okay.
Got to do some cosmetics.
I got to get on the nice list.
Get them coated. Yeah. So a couple weeks for that, maybe 3 weeks, maybe something like that.
Yeah, that's really cool. The Scorpion. People know you're working on a Scorpion.
Yeah.
Any update on that? Because that's every time somebody talks to me and they bring up JFD. So like, have they told you anything about the Scorpion? And I'm like, no.
Yeah, nothing new on that front. We're waiting on the ATF, and they said they're not going to give me any answer until this rule change is whatever granted or not.
Oh,
so, yeah. So and there's already a 3D. We're going to release 3D printed ones, but there's already one out there. The Are We Cool Yet guys put that out, so there's no need for us to do that. So,
well, that's the lower, correct?
It's the upper, so it's a hat. So the upper's in two pieces, left and a right side. So the ejection side, the right side of it, is the serialized firearm. So it's like a 1919 or something like that, where a side plate is the gun, which makes no sense to me, I guess, considering the other things that they've done. Where an AR-15 lowers the receiver, serialized. Right. So we designed an 80% for that, which to us and anybody looking at it would say, of course that's not a gun because it can't do these three things. But how the ATF is, we would like an answer on that before we start cranking them out.
Walter wants to know, is that an old school Scorpion or an Evo 3?
Yeah, the Evo. Yep, the Evo.
Yeah, I would like to have an old school Scorpion. Just because when I used to play Modern Warfare, the first one used to run around with a old school Scorpion.
Yeah, I think that's the only reason the Chris Vector is still around, is because it's on all these video games. I don't know anybody that that has it for any practical use, but it's cool.
Yeah, the Vector is kind of cool. I like the way it looks.
Yeah,
but I mean, I don't know. It might be overly engineered.
Is anybody a fan of? Oh gosh, what was it? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
Because in the last season,
I didn't watch the last season though.
They all had Chris Vectors with like giant cans on them as their like laser guns.
That's cool.
And I'm wondering, are they like 3D molding these things, or did they actually have Chris Vectors? I was wondering what the prop house was doing.
Yeah.
Well, what I want to do is I want to make some clones of that Tomorrow War, the ARs.
I don't remember what they were.
They had the hair stocks on them.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, I think there's prints for the hair stocks.
Yeah, I'm just gonna use.
Yeah, I think there are too. Yeah,
I'm just gonna use the real one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hair stocks. Yeah. So I think I'm going to do a couple of those just to. I want to start like producing some type of like movie replica guns, whatever, that are actual.
There's going to be the Black Swan Tactical Firearms dealership soon.
No, they've already that's already been here and gone. So yeah, Safety Harbor Firearms says the Chris Vector is useless as a semi-auto system of design for blasting, and that is true.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, here we got one. Opinions on the Smith & Wesson M&P AR bolt carrier group.
I don't have any opinions on it. I don't know. Does it work?
It works, yeah.
That's usually my standard. Does it work?
Yeah, I've never had any issues with them. Don't really use too many of them though. I use a lot of tool craft and stuff like that. Yeah. Hair Arms CQR is what they had on 7.5-inch ARs.
Just get a PS90.
Yeah, you have a PS90. I'm not going to spend money on that. My wife would kill me.
Boy, if you only knew the deal I got. I told you the deal I got on that PS90.
Yeah, you did.
I wish I bought 2 or 3 at the time. I just didn't have the money. I got a discount. I got it for $875.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's good.
The new Boba Fett movie came out today, right? A show came out today, The Book of Boba. And
is that in the theaters or is that on
Disney Plus? It's a series.
Oh.
And there is a behind the scenes where they show like footage from like the 70s and like what his original gun was going to look like. His original gun was an Uzi with all these parts like strapped to it. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Well, it's funny when you look at the Han Solo blaster. It was like a Cox engine, like the finned part was like the cylinder head from a Cox engine and stuff like that.
Yeah,
2-stroke model airplane engine. I don't know that it's Cox specifically, but
yeah. Wolverines. Team Uncool
it?
shirt and OD Green. Make it happen. I love you guys. I can do that.
Thanks, Bob.
I can definitely do that. Also, in the Boba Fett, they said that originally the outfit was going to be they designed the outfit for some like elite stormtroopers, but they didn't have the budget to make more than one. So they said, "Well, we got this outfit. We gotta think of something to do," and they made a character around the outfit.
Wow.
Yeah. The Han Solo was a Mauser C96.
Yeah, Broomhoundil Mauser with stuff glued on.
Yeah, it's interesting how the old shows used to be. Have you watched any movies lately, like the new Matrix movies or anything?
We saw Spider-Man at the Oaks. We all kind of went out after maybe Saturday night.
You didn't see it all though. You left.
No, I didn't see it all. I was very tired. So.
Didn't you guys go that Friday night?
Friday night. Yeah. When you guys came in. Yep. So.
Yeah. That was a good movie. I guess you guys were just exhausted.
Yeah, I was beat.
Yeah, talking to the guys, they said it sounded like a great idea on Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah, Friday was tough.
For Friday,
I saw a question from Chris Shoemake.
Yeah,
Shoemaki. He asked if they have an allotted amount of time to make a decision, or is it just whatever they feel like doing? It's whatever they feel like doing. So
yeah, I mean that's always what it is. It's whatever they feel like doing.
Yeah.
It just you have a lot of stuff outstanding with the ATF, or some stuff outstanding with the ATF.
Yeah.
Any updates on those letters?
No, the last one I got, I'd have to look and see when it was, but it might have been in June when they finally responded to me and said they're not going to answer anything until the receiver rule change goes through or doesn't go through. So we're kind of dependent on that right now.
So yeah. I'm a little surprised. John usually knows the answer to every question he asks with your informants in the ATF. You don't know the answer to that question, John?
When the new rule is going to go through?
No, when Jordan's stuff is going to get approved. You don't know whose desk the paperwork's on and what time they come in?
No, I do not.
Was that what?
I know who has it, and I was able to figure out his email address. So that's when he finally answered me, because my email went directly to him instead of just some bottomless pit.
The general
email. Yep.
Yeah, they don't really respond too well to the general email places.
No, they don't respond at all. They don't respond at all.
You mean a government agency is unresponsive?
Yeah. I actually went to my congressman's office. This has been probably 2 years ago now or so, but before COVID, and kind of explained to them the situation. So I know all this sounds probably strange to you, but this is holding up my business and hiring more employees and the whole thing. So is there anything you can do, or is there do you have a contact at the ATF that you can call? I don't know what it's called, but they gave some kind of official request to the ATF as a congressman, and they basically told him, go F yourself. We don't answer anybody.
Yeah, the ATF is like that. Where I know Congress people who request information from them, and they're just like, no.
Yeah,
they are so out of control. They are the most out of control agency there is. At least with the FBI and stuff, they will respond to Congress. ATF, not so much, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And then they started looking at COVID fraud, which I thought was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Why is the ATF looking at COVID fraud?
I want to know whenever do they ever look at tobacco or alcohol? Because it seems to me that they only look at firearms.
Well, they do go after a lot of vape stuff.
Oh.
And cigarette smuggling.
Yeah, smuggling. Yep.
There's a lot of cigarette smuggling.
Yeah. Just for tax reasons.
Yeah. Well, ATF was formed out of the Department of Taxation.
Revenuers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do go after moonshiners.
Yeah.
Well,
for their
and they get ticked off when you don't give them $200 for a tax stamp for some reason.
Yeah.
It's the only thing where it's the only place where if you forget to pay $200, you get 10 years in prison.
Right. And your dog shot.
It does not really make any sense to me. Yeah, they do shoot a lot of dogs. That's why I don't own a puppy.
Yeah.
Next gun show I'm at, I'm going to bring a dog with me to go pose in front of the booth. Actually, they're going to be a shot. Do you know anybody out there that has? Do you know anybody out in Vegas that has a dog I can borrow for a day?
Oof. None that are going to give to you.
Oh, damn it! That might be a great video.
Yeah.
Of a dog being. So Jordan, talking about shot. Where are we gonna go party?
Oh, all the places.
Because John's a party animal. Jordan, I don't know. Are you a party animal also?
Oh yeah.
Jordan and I party about the same amount.
Yeah, I was scared because
we have waters or Diet Coke at the hotel there.
Now, at the hotel, I didn't see Bob without a beer.
Oh.
So I was kind of jealous. I couldn't keep that standard up myself. In fact, I don't think I drank that weekend at all.
No, well, you were mostly with Dark and I, and neither Dark doesn't drink and I don't drink.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's probably
well. That's why. I had a travel agent, and she's like, "Oh, the drinks are great here at this resort. Go to this." When I'm on vacation, I have no reason to drink. When I'm away from all the stuff that aggravates me.
Yeah.
All right, so
Clan says he nurses them, but he's a pro social drinker.
So that just ruined my badass drinking ability image of Bob.
Yeah.
No, Bob is great, man. Liberty not licenses, Bureau of firearms, and other things we consider firearms. But it was too cumbersome, so they kept the old title. Yeah, it's the ATF is freaking ridiculous. Although there are some good people that work there that pass me on information and stuff like that, and there's other people in the tech branch especially that is like, hey, this where they've come to them and said, hey, you need to rule this way. And they're like, but that's not the way it is. That's not what it is. So they get really frustrated.
So Walter says at the ATF headquarters they have a model of the Branch Davidians compound made of wood, not burned though. I thought they lit it on fire every hour at the top of the hour, like Old Faithful.
I thought it was like Burning Man, where they had a festival at the end. They just light it. They light it on fire.
Hold on, I'm going to go to the YouTube analytics and see if our stream has been demonetized
yet. You know
yet.
what? I haven't even monetized mine. I haven't monetized mine in like 3 days. I don't know, man. I've just been so busy doing stuff and building stuff.
Jordan, I had like 9 questions about the MUP 1. How did you come up with the idea for this in the design? What'd you go to school for? Do you have like an engineering background?
No, I barely passed school. I did just enough to get through high school. I hated school and I hated college. And I eventually got to the point in college where I'd paid so much money that I had to leave with some paper that said I went there. So I originally started out, I was pre-med, if that matters, I guess, but I was going to be an optometrist. But all I could think about was opening up several optometry centers and owning, 5 to 10 different, eye doctor offices. Mm-hmm. So I thought, well, I just do business. I like business. So I finished up. I have a associate's degree in business administration, which has proven to be useless basically. So everything I've learned, I've kind of learned, from my dad or other, mentor types as I've gone along. And then just my own experiences. But and so figuring that the MUP 1 out, you start with what you think is not a firearm. So originally we had the rails bent down. So the 4 tabs that were sticking up, those were all bent down. They were over length or over width. So they were too wide. You couldn't fit a slide on it. So to us, that eliminates the ability to have a slide, which was one of their issues. We left a few holes in it. I forget which ones now. So eventually we got to what you see right there. And one of the requirements was that the rails have to stick straight up and down. Yeah.
Really?
So, yeah. They did not care if the rails were 3 feet wide or exactly correct. They had to be standing up and down. So, okay, whatever. I'll do that. So it's a lot of trial and error because there is no blueprint to what the ATF wants. If you were to send another product similar to that in right now with random holes in it, it could, more than likely get approved if they're, the correct holes or whatever. But you could send the exact same item in 6 months from now and it won't be. So
yeah, it depends on whose desk it lands at.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
They give a lot of leeway to.
So if I, and not like I'm going to do this, but just for instance, if I sent something in and maybe it all had holes that you had to enlarge with a step drill, you're saying somebody might just like, yeah, okay.
Could. It depends.
Yeah, like if you get someone like me, they'd be like, approved. You're not even looking at them. So
yeah. I don't think they look at them anyway. I think they just sit in a, janitor's office somewhere and whatever, pull them out when they got nothing else to do. So, so anyway, it was just trial and error. So once you have that approved, then you got to figure out the jig for it. Cause like I said, I didn't have a lot of money, so I'm not going to pay somebody to help me, draw up a jig and cut it and test it. So after we finally got it approved, then we could start working on the jig. And we had a general design of what we thought the jig was going to be. And ultimately it came out to that there. And so another issue we had was whenever we bent the rails down, how are we going to do that at home without a shop press? So I designed it to work with a hammer. Yep. And then that starts the bend. That's kind of the pre-bend. And then the center of that top plate, the center is kind of deep and goes the whole way down into the jig. So when the receiver is in there and it's fully bent, it keeps everything square. So that's part of our patent, is that top plate is a bending plate plus a measuring device. So the width of it is just about the correct width to cut the rails. Yep. So when those rails are bent down, you'd run a hacksaw right against the sides of that and it'll chop the rails just about where they should be. I've taken them straight out of a jig with no touch-up work and thrown them together, and they work. Most of the time, you're going to clean them up, of course, and make everything smooth. But so it's just trial and error. And I'm kind of a big dummy, so I figured if I can get this to work, then most of my customers should be able to as well. So
yes. for the month of October, November, and December.
Yeah.
We'll have to see about January. But yeah. But I only take sponsors that I actually like. For some reason, I've had like a lot of people with NFTs reach out in the last month. I think I told Rich that I get hit up a lot. Oh, can you pimp my NFT? Because Rob McNeely, he has an NFT, so I had him on talking about his NFT. And Chris Chang came on and talked about his NFT that he had with Recoil, because I did those two shows, even though they weren't like sponsored shows. They were just, hey, this was kind of interesting. People are like, hey, can you press my NFT? And NFTs, I mean, I see the value in them, but I'm also not 100% sold on most of them, because I believe that there can be a lot of I believe that 99.9% of them are going to fail and be worth nothing, and people are going to throw their money away. So that's why I stay away from taking any sponsorship money about NFTs.
Right. And a lot of it is personal integrity. I think John and I see eye to eye on it. We're not going to have a sponsor on the show that we don't believe in, that we don't have their products or support what they do. Jordan, I got a question for you. What is it? Palmetto State Armory.
Mm-hmm.
Their philosophy is like, let's get as many AR-15s in the hands of people out there. I heard somebody say that's your philosophy also, that you want to make sure, like, if you can legally own a gun and want a gun, we're going to make it so you can get one. Yeah,
that's kind of been our goal, and we not that we fell into that, but that's kind of where we were headed, and now that's where we are. We're a lot of first-time buyers and builders. We're their first purchase. So we're proud of that. I love seeing new guys on all the forums that we're on, and hey, just finally bought my first build from JSD, and it has, the Patmos parts and all that. So I'm very happy to be there. Just like Palmetto, I mean, they blew open the AR-15 market. I'm sure, obviously it wasn't solely them, but they're a huge player in that market and driving the price down and making everything affordable. Just like their Dagger, their new Glock style platform. So it's things like that we really like. And economies of scale too. You don't just get there overnight. Unless you have a huge sack of money, you got to build slow and start small and work your way there. So
like have a venture capital firm.
Yeah.
Maybe that somebody might own. Palmetto State Armory.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So you do it that way too, I guess.
JJE, JJE.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Capital. Did they have that before Palmetto? About after Palmetto?
No, I think that came after.
Yeah. Good. Well, good for them. They're buying up a bunch of stuff too, I think. Didn't they buy some in Remington or something?
Yeah,
brands or a couple of their brands?
Did they buy the ammo manufacturing?
Yeah, ammo manufacturing, JJE Holdings, yeah. They bought the ammo manufacturing, then the rifles went to the owners of Strike Group, which is kind of interesting, because Strike Group owns P80 now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But their parent company bought part of Remington too.
Very interesting.
Oh, so Walter bought himself a Dagger, and I know Palmetto was passing a Dagger around to a bunch of YouTubers, and I think they put over 2,000 rounds through a Dagger.
5,000.
And it was 5,000 in one afternoon. So, and Walter, as the famous floor sweepings, had bunch of 9mm he just had laying around the shop and ran it through the dagger.
Nice.
Yeah.
I haven't shot mine yet. I bought one of their frames when it was. I'm sure they're still hit or miss with availability, but they had a frame for, I think it was $100 for a complete, lower receiver.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So I haven't gotten it yet, but.
Oh, final question. What the hell's going on with P80? They had a sale the other day that was 30% off everything on the website besides 80%ers, 80s.
I don't know.
You can't buy any 80s.
I don't know.
So what the hell are you going to buy?
I don't know.
Shirts?
Yeah. Some companies like to clear out their inventory at the end of the year and have cash instead of having inventory. So to me, I don't really care. I have inventory and cash. I don't have to, dump it, or I guess per se. So I don't know. It just depends on how your accounting goes. So I'm not sure why they didn't put any of their 80s on sale. That's their business.
It was like 30% everything off the website, and in small print it says not applicable to 80% kids. Or so I was like, oh well, maybe it's the full kit. No.
Yeah.
You can buy a freaking 80% frame.
Jordan, can I ask maybe the dumbest question?
Yeah.
What's JSD stand for?
So it's my daughters, Giselle, Sophia, Demi.
Aha.
Yeah, so couldn't think of a name, and that kind of worked. So
I thought it was John was the J. No. First time Jordan was on with you, Rich, you asked him that same exact question.
Did I?
Yes.
Damn, you're like Rain Man.
Sorry, Jordan.
That's all right. At least it's a question I know the answer to.
Yeah. All right. We've been on for an hour. It is time to go. Tomorrow will be the last show, and we have Hoffman Tactical on tomorrow.
P80 Ralph and 2A 3D print. So some peeps that were at the show.
I thought it was Hoffman Tactical.
Yeah, Hoffman Tactical and the other two guys.
Oh, okay. P80 Ralph and 3. Yeah, okay.
So we got a bunch of 3D print guys.
Yeah, that is awesome. We are fully supporting the 3D printing and 80% world because we need to defeat gun control. Did you get your Ghost Gunner 3 yet? I know you didn't. I talked to Cody. They're still working on it.
And Jordan, I got to send you some parts.
All right.
He has those parts didn't actually come with it. You actually had to buy those separately. So, but send it to him anyway. But no. But yeah. I talked to him yesterday about it.
Yeah.
It's still coming out. I was hoping that you would have it by now. Maybe I should have just sent it directly to you instead of having it. I thought it'd be nice to have it all,
Yeah, that's all right.
But yeah, they should be coming soon, and then I am looking forward to seeing what you could. Cody called me yesterday about something totally different that I brought up the Ghost Gunner.
Yeah, he called me last week or week before and said he was getting it ready. So everybody's busy,
Yeah,
I'm not in dire need.
Yes, there's gonna be some really cool stuff coming out next year from a lot of different people. And I've seen some pre-shot show stuff that's going to be, I think it's going to rock the world here.
Good.
From JFD Supply, they are going to release, not just joking. I honestly, if they had something special planned for shot, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, nothing.
Oh, and Mr. Snow, can the Ghost do the 17L slides? Probably, if you have the right code, it could. It's all about the code. They don't have the code out there, but if you have the right code, it could do it. All right, guys. That is it. Thank you very much. Jordan, stick around for 1 second. And yeah, see you guys later.
See ya.